You are listening to Single Smart Female. This is Jen, explaining the possibilities in your love life and examining your mantourage dating experiences. I am here to help you do life and love on your terms by tipping the scales of love permanently in your favor. So don't forget to text this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends, and let's get started. Hello, single smart female. It's your romantic fairy godmama, coming to you today with a single smart female listener question. Now, this listener question comes all the way from the great state of Vermont, and it comes from Miss I Don't Want to Be a Cougar, who is age 44. She writes, Dear Jen, I met this guy through friends and I really like him. I'm dating several men my age and many of them do not have their shit together. I meet this guy who is 11 years younger than me, and not only do we have a ton in common, he is more mature than the 46-year-olds I've been dating. Is it okay to date a man who is 11 years younger than you? Not only date and add to my mantourage, but to want to maybe get serious with? All right, first off, fantastic question, Miss I Don't Want to Be a Cougar. First off, I have nothing against cougars. I think cougars are amazing. And when I'm talking about cougars, I am talking about the animal. I think they're a very cool, powerful animal. I don't like us referring to ourselves as cougars, though, because it's developed a negative connotation. Because in my eyes, just because you dated a younger man, that doesn't make you a cougar. Okay? We'll get into just a second some of the things that I think might make you a cougar if we were going to, again, I'm really not fond of that term specifically, but I think there are some things you should definitely be considerate of. I don't see these things yet in you based on what you have shared with me so far, but I will get to them. And then that's the number one thing. First off, I'm going to say, answer to your question, is there anything wrong with wanting to date and be exclusive with a man who is younger than you? No. Just like there's not anything wrong with wanting to date and be exclusive with a man who's significantly older than you either. Okay? It's all good. Either way, it's really about connection and love and you being able to be the full version of yourself in a relationship, as well as allowed to evolve as a woman and allowed to, and when I say allowed, I'm not talking about just by hand, I'm talking about in the relationship context in general, and that you're just not, basically burying pieces of yourself in order to be with somebody. Now, there's one concern I have, and I'm not even saying this is the case here because we're talking about a one-off man. But I do have women who come to me and they say, I only am attracted to younger men. And I'm not even talking about significantly younger men. It could just be, 3 to 5 years or something. But they tell me they're only attracted to because guys their age are this or guys their age are that. And I do see a piece of that, although we're only talking about one specific man right now. But I do see a piece of that in the other part of your statement, which is he's more mature than the 46-year-olds or the 46-year-old that I have been dating. So there might be, and I don't know if you were talking collectively, you're talking about this one specific man and he just happened to be the oldest of all the ones that you were talking about. And what I want to say is when we get caught up in this idea that if we're not attracting somebody younger, we'll classify all the men around our age as absolute crap and horrible and blah, 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 which is not true, that there is no across the board in men. Okay? But we'll classify them that way because it makes it easier in our head to justify only dating a certain age because underneath that, we're using him as proof that we're aging really well. And it's an insecurity instead of just accepting and not basing how you're aging on whether or not younger men are attracted to you. Because I'm going to tell you all a secret. All of you. Younger men are going to be significantly attracted to you. Okay? So that's not a good litmus test whatsoever. And we'd say it's not a litmus test, but true if you undercover all the insecurities and you date around your age or even a little bit older with women who do this chronically, you have a woman who's significantly afraid of getting older, okay? And that's actually the only problem with dating a younger man. So what happens as she starts to get older and her looks start to change some and things like that, then all of a sudden she starts incessantly questioning him on whether or not he really wants to be with her instead of just accepting the fact that he loves her regardless. Okay? And that's why when I see this pattern, I have to address it with women because that's a telltale sign as she ages, that she is going to be miserable and unhappy and only temporarily happy when she's with somebody younger. Instead of basing on just herself and what she chooses in life, she's basing her attractiveness on whether or not he's into her at all the time. And then she'll start questioning him all the time, and taking all these insecurities that she's feeling about herself and asking him to basically verify them for him, and then asking him, how can you still be attracted to me? Do you really want other women? Not men. Well, maybe men. I don't know. No, but women, all that stuff. And that constant questioning starts to set up doubts in his head, and then the relationship starts to fall apart. So again, if it's based on this insecurity, again, nothing wrong with being with somebody who is significantly younger than you. But you have to own who you are. And you can be sexy as hell regardless of what anybody tells you throughout the rest of your life. Okay? You get to choose that. Nobody gets to choose that for you. And if you let other people choose for you, then you fucking lose. And that sucks because you don't have to lose, and you definitely can be an adored woman for the rest of your life. A while back, I told you ladies about the documentary of Mae West, and I suggest you going back to that episode and listening to it because that woman decided that she was going to be sexy for the rest of her life. And guess what? She found the love of her life who was significantly younger than her, and he was loyal to her till the day she died. I mean, loyal, okay? He loved her. He was loyal. He took care of her. Go check that out. Again, nothing wrong with dating a man younger than you, as long as you're not doing it to justify your own attractiveness. You justify your own attractiveness. A man does not. Okay, with that said, I do see some pieces of hyperfocus coming in here for you that you need to be attentive to. And I think it's really important. If you're telling me that, all the men that your age are this certain type of man, you need to upgrade the quality in your mantourage. If you end up in a relationship with this younger man, nothing wrong with that, okay? But meanwhile, you need to upgrade the quality in your mantourage because you are specifically attracting a type of man to justify any insecurities that you may have around this. And long term, it's not going to work out. So meanwhile, before you go into an exclusive relationship with this man, you have to upgrade. And I definitely suggest upgrading around your age, possibly older as well, so that you can see men in their entirety because they're all amazing, not just the young ones. We get into this idea, only this type will do it for me or this type. And when you find true love is when you step outside of your type, because a type is a blinder. It's a blinder to keep you playing small romantically, and that's some shit that you have to be willing to give up if you want to truly become an adored woman. Now, if you don't care about being an adored woman, then hey, keep your blinders on. All right? You can go for the short-term gratification of everything. If you want something more long-term and lasting and then knowing, then take those damn blinders off, step outside that, recognize you need to upgrade the talent in your mantourage around your age, older. You can even include a couple younger ones, but I wouldn't skew it one way. With all of that said, reminder, I've said it several times, perfectly okay to date a man significantly younger than you. Okay, as long as he meets you mentally, because intellect is one of the biggest long-term compatibility factors. Okay, if he's not meeting you mentally, it might be another consideration, and it might be somebody to include in your mantourage, but maybe not being the long-term partner. You're wanting somebody that meets you on all levels, intellect being one of those. And remember, ladies, when I say intellect is different between person to person, as long as he meets you like at the same level. Remember, there's different types of intellect. It doesn't have to be the exact same intellect. It just has to be something that's fun to engage with. And reminder that you still need to address all of the things that are going on with you and learning how to interact with men differently. Okay, lover girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show. It is perfectly okay to date men younger than you. What's not okay is when you exclusively date men that are younger than you. Hey, lover girl, don't forget to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app, as well as share this episode with all of your single smart girlfriends. And if you are ready to stop pretending that you can indefinitely survive on scraps of his romantic attention and instead learn how to Mantourage date with your romantic fairy godmama directly, then come schedule your application interview at secretsocietyofAdoredWomen.com. Most women repeatedly fail in their romantic endeavors because they have the wrong guidance, no accountability, no romantic support system, and shit-ass one-size-fits-all dating advice that doesn't work for smart, successful women. Adored Women, on the other hand, have me at their fingertips to help them brilliantly navigate Mantourage dating with excessive laughter, giddiness, and all the right feels you've been craving. True love included, no batteries required. See you at secretsocietyofAdoredWomen.com.